So let's talk about Concord. On September 3rd, there was an announcement on the PlayStation blog. Important update on Concord. This came out of the blue. And I only caught it because I was watching two live streams, and that just came up as breaking news. But it all revolves around Concord. So if you don't know already, Sony announced on the 3rd that Concord is being shut down after 11 days. That is unprecedented. It is never in the history of video games has a game been shut down that fast. And mostly because due to player count. So to kind of give you an idea on the Steam charts right here, the all-time peak was 660 concurrent players. The 24 peak, and this is as of today, September 4th. 24 peak, 68. An hour ago, 66. And to kind of give a compare that to another game that came out around the same time, Dustborn, all-time peak 76, 24-hour peak 28, 17 for an hour ago. And let's do one more comparison to a game that's come out recently. Black Myth Wukong, all-time peak. Look at this. The numbers are running together so closely you can't tell what's what. I've never seen that before. Over 2 million all-time peak. Over 1 million for 24. Right now, a very healthy, respectable 108,000. So, what does all this have to do with anything? Well, there is two major There's two major things that both Dustborn and Concord have in common, but we'll talk about that in a second. But let's kind of go over what the good old PlayStation blog had to say about Concord. And this is from Ryan Ellis, the game director of Firewalk Studios. Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC, and want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and passionate community has grown around the game and has meant the world to us. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize other aspects of the game, and our initial launch didn't land the way we intended. You think? Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6th and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. So, September 6th, at the time of this recording, is 2 days away. So that is a Friday. And this is being recorded on a Wednesday. And it was announced on a Tuesday. A very, very, very short window. Usually when games fail on this kind of scale and this kind of content, as far as like shooters, character shooters, they tend to be free-to-play games. And they usually take about 6 months to a year before they shut them down. I mean, Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League is still going on right now, and that is considered a live service game. But this is like the fastest a game has ever been pulled. I mean, there's precedents for games being pulled prior to the launch or right on the day of launch before. One that comes to mind was, I believe it was one of the Little Big Planet games. I believe it was Little Big Planet 2. And I was working at a GameStop at a time, and we had it in the box. It was practically the day before launch. We got a notification to box it back up and send it back. Mostly because there was a licensing issue on one of the games, one of the music in the game, I'm sorry. And this is on the PlayStation 3. So obviously, it was something that could not be easily patched, or they didn't want to take the risk of any copies getting out into the wild prior to a patch. So new copies would probably come out with the game removed, which ended up being the case. But let's go on with that. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund to all gamers who purchase the game for PS5, PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. Customers who purchased from other digital storefronts will also be refunded. More information about the refunds from Epic and Steam can be found below. Flip that around. The Steam, and it's got the directions here for the Steam store and Epic store. Here's one that's really interesting. Other retailer refunds for customers who have purchased a physical copy at a retailer location outside of PlayStation directly. Please refer to the refund process of the retailer you purchased from to obtain your refund. This depends on the retailer. Now, I have been hearing from a couple of people, and I've been reading a couple posts and YouTube live streamers talking about the game. And overall, the game supposedly had only sold 25,000 physical copies. I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's just what I had heard. But when it comes to retailers, it's within 30 days. I don't think there would be a problem getting their refund, but there are some retailers out there who are a little bit stickler for the rules. They will only modify those rules if they get direction from Sony to do so, meaning Sony will credit them back for the copies that they have taken back. So like I'm looking at you, GameStop. GameStop's really a stickler for not taking anything back that's been opened. Now, what is being done with these games is another story. I have yet to find out, but are they being field destroyed, as what they would say at GameStop, or are they being sent back to the manufacturer? Excuse me. I would assume that they would be sent back to the manufacturer, only because if they're taking this type of time to completely wipe the game off the face of the map, they do not want to risk any copies getting out by accident. Now, granted, there are going to be a lot of people that will absolutely not return their games. When this was announced, there were several YouTubers and other influential gamers actually went out and bought copies of the game before it was pulled. I myself tried on two different occasions to try and get this game. Both with an in-store pickup, one from Target and one to be picked up today, as a matter of fact, from Walmart. Both were in the cart, both were processed, and as soon as I arrived to the stores with the game in my face, right there, ready to be grabbed, I was informed that they were not allowed to sell it to me, and they had to cancel my order because of directions they had received not to do that. My thing about that was, if they would have gotten that note, from my point of view, if the game's already been pulled and it's already been committed, I should be able to get it. But hey, that's life. I don't get to join the meme of buying Concord and doing stuff like this, flipping it around and selling it on eBay. Excuse me. Look at these prices. Look at these prices right there. And at one point, there was a copy of Concord for $25,000. I don't know if that canceled thing right there, if that has anything to do with just the picture, or they're saying it's canceled. I don't think that's what it has anything to do with it. But right now, somebody's asking for $950 for Concord. That is ridiculous. I was actually going to put it in a frame and keep it behind me and show it for all times. But you know what? Life goes on. All right, and here's the rest of the blog. Once refunded, players will no longer have access to the game. So clearly that means that if you don't, that gives me a thought that if you don't refund it on the PlayStation Store, they forcibly pull it and give you a refund? There's precedents of somebody doing that. Ubisoft did that with the Crew game. Once the licensing was up on the cards, they just deleted it from everybody's libraries. We'll keep you updated. Thank you again for all the free gunners who have joined us in the Concord Galaxy. So there is a thought that this game is going to probably disappear for a while and then come back as a free-to-play game. I don't know about that, because they wouldn't completely wipe the game completely off the market this way. They could have kept it going, ate the losses, and then slowly go free to play after a while. My thought process was they were going to go free to play in 6 months, and then they would pull it in a year and try to get as much money as they can. But why did this game not resonate with players? I saw the I guess it was around the E3 time they had the announcement trailer on it. It didn't look anything special to me. It looked kind of generic. And then once I realized, oh, it's another Overwatch clone shooter, I personally just passed on it. And at the time, I thought it was going to be something free to play that they were going to give access to PlayStation Plus members. Oh, no. They charged $40 for this, and that was their big mistake right there. This game could have done better if it went free to play. I'll take it back. It wouldn't necessarily done better, but they may have been a little bit more of a player base because games like this gravitate more towards people if it's free. There's also the character models here. So we'll kind of go full screen here. And this will kind of give you an idea. And I want you to take a look at a couple things while I play this video. And just kind of give you the ideas of these character designs. On my mark. Right here. And one thing that you're going to notice is up in the right-hand corner, one thing that kind of set people off on here is pronouns. Can't have a game without pronouns. And some of the pronoun stuff in this game is just ridiculous. You know, we got body positivity take there. Whatever, undecided. I don't know what that is. I don't know what made that a great design choice. All right. He reminds me of one of the characters from Guardians of the Galaxy. Dude, what is with that box? What is with the box? I don't get it. Is that supposed to be appealing to when I take a look at character selects? I'm going to be like, yeah, that's exactly who I want to pick.
The expert's on it.
It's a they, them, by the way. Okay. That's a robot. That is a robot. Robots got pronouns. Why does a robot have pronouns?
Watch your back.
Right on target.
Okay, bland. Another robot with pronouns. What the deuce? Excuse me. Let's see.
Come on, let's go.
Clearly a great choice there in a character design. This is the character whose power is don't break a hip.
That's right.
Yeah, there's something with this character. I don't even want to talk about this one. And this one right here, I thought this was a woman. For the longest time, I thought this was a woman until I saw this video. I was thoroughly shocked. So, what are some of the other reasons why this game would failed? Well, you got your developers attacking the fans. So, a Concord developer maligns the critics as talentless freaks as the game fails to hit a 700 peak concurrent player count. So you've got your developers going on X, basically saying, "Hey, you started off, hey, we're very proud of this game. We're excited for everybody to play it. You know, okay, cool, no problem. A little bit of positivity." And then when they say something like this right here, responding to a other Twitter comment, "I'm sorry for this to be your first. I do not believe it is you or any other dev's fault that this game has performed so poorly. I can tell you a lot of effort was put into completing this game. It just came out at the wrong time and genre." The developer says, I don't really care. It was a huge labor from a lot of insanely talented people making an awesome game. Why would I care but what a bunch of talentless freaks hating on it? I'm having fun playing it and wouldn't trade it for anything. Here's the thing. If you like stuff, cool. You like stuff. That's for you. You like whatever you want to like. But you can't get mad when somebody else doesn't like what you like. That's the problem right now with the Acolyte. All these people that like the Acolyte are getting mad at the people that didn't like the Acolyte. That's easy for me to say. And they're blaming them for the show's failure. When it was clearly there was no interest in it. No interest at all. Also, you kind of get a little insight into the inner workings of Firewalk Studios. So they had a developer there who demanded that she is to be referred to as the professor. And if she did not get called as such, she reported him to HR. Also, she demanded to have her unvaccinated colleagues to be fired. This game took 8 years to develop, so there was a lot that happened within those 8 years. So of course the pandemic was going around that time. So of course, you get what I'm saying. But hindsight is 2020 now, and they're starting to realize, oh, that was pretty much a mistake on that. But that's for something else. But that kind of shows you the craziness that was going on at the studio at the time. Now, what has Fireworks Studios worked on prior to Concord? Well, let's see. Let's look here on this wiki. Oh, Concord. They've only worked on Concord. They only worked on Concord. So this team came from ex-developers from Bungie and Activision. And if I had to take a guess, probably the ones that they fired. Probably with good reason, too. I would have loved to see what the original concept of this game was when they put it together in 2016, I believe. I wonder what the actual concept of this game was, because a lot can happen in 8 years. Things change. Like, to give you an example, Duke Nukem Forever took 11 years to develop. And once Gearbox bought the game, they finished it. And they kind of changed a lot of stuff up in the game. There was some base stuff in it, but it changed gradually as Gearbox had received it. So the game's being completely wiped. The physical and digital copies. I myself could not get one for the pure purposes of memes. But what about the other stuff? What about, hey, there was a Concord controller. Let's go to that real quick. Right here on the PlayStation Direct store. The DualSense wireless Concord limited edition controller. $84.99. A little pricey for my blood, but that is not a shabby looking controller right there. The front of that is actually not bad. I mean, the only reason why I wouldn't have gotten it says Concord on the back. I don't need that. Now, I could probably, you could say, hey, get some paint or some tape, cover it up. You'll never know. That is very true. But it is cool nonetheless. I mean, behind me, there is a Starfield controller that I got, and it doesn't say Starfield on it. This is before I realized Starfield was garbage, and I thought it would look cool, so I picked it up. Can only get this controller from the PlayStation Store. You know what? I'm going to bite the bullet here. Live right now on video. I am going to purchase this controller and have it sent to me, because at least I can have it in my collection as a nice controller. So let's go down to add to. Wow, they are very serious about wiping anything that has to do with this game completely off the market. Currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. What's going on eBay there? Oh, I can get some on eBay. I just need to spend $350, $300. Bet I can do that. I can do that. So, what does this absolutely mean in the long run? Well, pretty much the best thing to do is, one, Sony learned a valuable $200 million lesson here, and they need to kind of get away from these live service games, especially ones that kind of copy ones that did it better. Or if they're going to do it, they need to do a free model on that. Two, kind of get out. Now is the year of fucking around and finding out. This is the find out year, and all this DEI crap that they're putting into the games now, people are not falling for it. They don't want it. People are going to be steering away from Western made games. Perfect example, we'll go back to Black Myth Wukong. People are playing this. Why? Because they do not pander. They don't pander to anybody. They just make a game that's fun, and that's it. And people are going to be looking more towards the East for their gaming cravings. They're going to go to the East to look for games that they know they can pick up and buy. They'll be good. There'll be no pandering. And the developers will not go and insult them if they don't play the game, or if they find something wrong with the game. I do have fear for two companies, though, that are out there right now. Actually, three. Capcom, Namco Bandai, and Square Enix. Those big three over there. Because they're just now discovering DEI. Because they think that's the trend out here, and this is what the gamers want. And it's clearly not the case. But they will soon learn soon enough. But the lucky thing is they can actually see what's going on here in real time and course correct super quickly. All right, so that's all I got to say about it. So if there's anything that you'd like to say about it, go ahead and throw it in the comments below. And until next time, take care.